Welcome to Romancing the Dungeon, a softcore D&D adventure about 4 heroes on the greatest quest of all, to find true love. Last time on Romancing the Dungeon.
We have to kill her.
Off you go, do the bait thing.
I'll be with you in a moment, babe.
Creaking around that corner down the steps, this figure draped in shadow.
I didn't think you'd come alone.
The three of you are pulled into this open part of Morrag's lair.
Should I start revealing your humiliating dark secrets? Hephaestus, do we feel uncomfortable talking about our feelings for Nathaniel in front of him?
Morrag, I don't know if you understand this, but everybody loves me.
Do they?
Do you know what I destroyed of yours?
The Heartstone can always be replaced.
I'm not going to give you a chance to do that.
She just holds up her hands. Nate and Via, you both just see Festa and Thane falling asleep.
You just need to stop.
Is it not a little hypocritical, Fia, coming from you? The girl who falls in love from the shadows. Have you told Nate?
She grabs the glittering figure. His skin just turns completely black.
Sweet dreams.
And she just vanishes. Are you lonely, miserable, or just plain horny? Well, you've taken the first steps to solving your problems. At least your dating ones. Welcome to D8. Devoted, desired, dreamy or dirty. Dapper dates for dejected daters. My name's Roz Greypurse, founder, CEO, and love wizard. And for the low, low price of 19 gold and 99 silver pieces, you too can get my curvaceous form and figure. The Fat and the Furious. No, wait, damn it, that's the sex tape. Too Fat, Too Furious. Damn it, no, that's the sequel. Anyway, my workout tapes now available at your local carriage wash. To get started, please fill out the attached questionnaire. Question 17. Who are your kind of people?
My kind of people are the outcasts, the oddballs, the ones who don't quite fit in. They're the ones I get along with best. People who don't really care what other people think about them, and therefore don't really care what I'm doing myself.
Hello everyone, it's Thane's Tidbits once more. My kind of people is very hard to nail down, but I can tell you who my kind of people aren't, and it's gnomes. I don't like them. The silent G, what's up with that? Why are they in my garden? Why are they watching me at night? Why do they never move?
I guess my kind of people are anyone who's friendly, who approaches me and likes me, I guess. You know, I don't really kind of discriminate. Like, if you're going to be my friend, you're my friend, and that's it. And I'll accept you, all your stuff.
Well, my people are the nation. They're my fans. I'd really be nothing without them.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I've actually broken Rod's character. That's the worst, best thing you've ever fucking said. The nation. Oh my fucking god. The four of you are standing at a gate to the city of Tezrab. You had decided the night before to go your separate ways and to investigate Hedana, to investigate a little bit more into the marks, to find as much as you can about the Flatstones and Eugenia, where the house might be, who she actually is, and why her brother is such a dickhead. But four hooded strangers stand outside a gate to the city. Nate and Fia, you had decided to enter on the most easterly gate, which would bring you kind of straight in towards the market district. Thane, you had decided to go the southeast, just again in the hopes that if the cloaks did not work, that at least one of you might get into the city without being caught. You're standing at the entrance to the southeastern gate that leads again into the market district, which is slightly closer to the temple district. Hephaestus, it takes you a little bit longer, even though it would make sense to kind of cut straight through the Eastern District. Thane's proposed plan to split up and to enter kind of separately if possible made a lot of sense. So you enter directly from the southern gate, which will bring you straight into the Artist District. But the four of you stand ready to enter. 3 days earlier, the four of you, along with Pandora and Lavender, were all sitting in the around the bar. Pandora had made some food for everyone to kind of eat. I don't know, it's to kind of comfort everybody. Even with everything that has just happened with Morrag and Birch being transfigured into a Hearthstone almost instantly, it's been quite emotional and it's been quite heavy. But Pandora seems to be doing her best to kind of take care of everybody, and she kind of expresses that through food. And she has been busy in the kitchen and just kind of whipping up stuff for you guys to have kind of a nibble on. Lavender has disappeared. Occasionally she kind of comes down, flits around you, and kind of giving you kind of a measure, like using her eye, like, but she's kind of like, she's trying to like shape your body and kind of commit it to memory, and then she kind of disappears back upstairs. What are the four of you doing?
Well, I guess I'm kind of eating away, and just as I'm eating, I'm thinking more and more about everything that happened and how I snapped at Hephaestus, and I'm feeling more and more guilty by the minute, and kind of like looking up at her every now and then. Yeah.
I'm just eating chicken real depressed. You ever seen a depressed man eat chicken?
Yep.
It's
I
that.
live in Limerick.
I don't think I'm very hungry. I'm not eating. I'm just sitting around kind of watching everybody, trying to just, I don't know, figure out what just happened. I do want to try and sort of catch Nate's eye. Not to say anything, but just like a small nod, like, are you okay?
I see her looking at me, and I just sort of turn away.
Pandora comes up again with another tray of food, and it's nothing like she's not bringing up like, you know, a full fancy 6-course meal, but it's just kind of things that she can whip up quite quickly. And this seems to be kind of a batch of like fried scones in that, like, you know, they've been kind of dipped in sugar and cinnamon and eggs and stuff like that. So it's kind of like French toast in a scone form. I wonder what that would actually taste like.
Sounds amazing.
So I'm gonna try
Stop
that.
the podcast.
Yeah, a separate show that I kind of be doing. She kind of on seeing the four of you kind of looking a little bit downtrodden, she shoves the tray onto the counter, and she's half looking around for Lavender, because like this is not what she does.
Seeing the tray that's put down, I kind of just say to her, like, thanks, Pandora, they look really nice.
You're welcome. Is everybody okay? I mean, I know everybody's not okay, but it will be.
I guess we just need just a chance to take everything in that happened, you know?
Physically, I think we're all really not good.
Okay.
But these scones look like they will fix that. Do they have magic in them?
They have cinnamon.
Oh, yeah, good enough.
I grab a couple and put them onto a plate, and I take them and I walk over to Hephaestus. Hi, would you like one?
Sure, thanks. And I'll take one off the plate. I don't eat it. I sit on my lap, but I take it.
Look, I'm sorry about down there.
It's fine. It's really fine. I meant what I said. I can take it.
I know. I still feel bad about it. I've never reacted like that at someone before.
Well, it's okay. I'm fine.
She just got in my head. Are you okay after everything?
I'm fine. I'm just fine. Nate's not looking so hot. Can you? He won't talk to me. Will you just check on him?
Me?
He likes you as much as he can like anybody, but he won't talk to me.
This whole thing.
Well, I suppose I'm up on the
The landing.
up on the landing, sort of like my legs sort of dangling between
Okay.
banisters.
With Hephaestus kind of asking you, and that sort of guilt you feel after snapping at her and kind of like hitting her between the ribs almost, even though you don't want to, because Hephaestus was asleep and Thane was asleep when Morrag dragged that up. Whatever those feelings are, she's put them out there, and Nate heard them. Now you've been asked to go and see if he's okay, and it's the first time you've really spoken to him since leaving Morag's lair.
Just before I leave Hephaestus, I just kind of give her shoulder a little squeeze, and I was like, I guess I'll go. Okay, yeah, I'll go check on him. And I go and I start walking up the stairs.
Thane is very quietly eating that third scone, just like watching this and being like, I'm just gonna eat some scones.
Okay, so you're I'm gonna eat my feelings.
Yeah. And not interrupt.
Okay, so you're carrying that
plate with what's left on it.
Okay, so like Pandora is she's just kind of watching she's watching this kind of unfold in the hopes that this might be the thing to clear the air a little bit. But she's also kind of looking at Thane a little bit worried. Third's going in. She's like, well, might want to slow down there, puppy.
Don't judge me.
You've gone through the chicken, now you're on the scones.
So, yeah, Nate, you see Fia awkwardly kind of climbing the stairs towards you.
Yeah, Hafessa just wanted me to check on you and make sure you're okay. And I know you're probably not okay. And yeah, so have something to eat.
Yeah, thanks. You okay?
No, no, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. We just, move on. And
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and look, if you want to talk, we can talk.
It's fine. It was horrible down there with her, and she really got under my skin. And let's not worry about it. Let's try and get back on track and get you reunited with Eugenia, and save her from her brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And I swiftly turn on my heel and walk quickly back down the stairs.
As you go to turn, Lavender appears and she's like, oh, perfect. And she whizzes right towards you without kind of asking, without just, it's that typical seamstress kind of way of oh, you're just a body and I'm putting something on you. She forcefully kind of grabs you and kind of stops you in position. And then there on the top of the stairs, kind of with Nate, she's kind of lifted both of your arms up. Nate is still sitting on the ground, so he's kind of at eye level with your tummy. You have never felt more kind of exposed, as she is literally kind of running a little measuring tape along your arm, under your arm, along your chest, around your belly, your inner thigh. She's measuring everything in front of you.
I'm literally holding my breath in, just waiting to move away.
No, girl, you gotta let all that out. I need to get, otherwise this is not going to fit well. I take it there's a mood.
Yeah. No, yeah, we'll talk and stuff, I guess. And we have talked a little bit, so yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's okay. We're good. We're good, Lavender. Thank you.
Well, far be it for me to analyze the rest of you. And she just...
You can analyze me.
She flies off. She's never flown off faster in her life. So kind of while Pandora is kind of just still there, kind of hovering midair around the bar. I think maybe if you want, maybe you could rest and then we can set out in the morning.
Is it safe here? She's not going to come back and kill us in her sleep.
As you say this, she just goes 50 shades paler. It's the thought of Morrag reappearing. She hadn't thought about it. She didn't want to think about it. And now you've kind of put it right at the front of her mind.
That a yes? That
no,
a no?
No. Thane will be okay. One night will be okay. If we want to do watch rounds, we could do watch rounds.
Yeah, I'll do watch.
I mean, I hate to agree with him, but sleeping hasn't been our friend lately, and I'm not that comfortable doing it here.
She winces as you say that.
Well, I don't need much sleep. I can take watch.
What if we all camp down here at the bar tonight? We'll have get our pillows in there and we can all watch over each other.
Okay, sure.
That'll make it easier.
I wouldn't actually be against that.
Yeah, fine. Whatever you guys want.
So unless there's anything in particular either of you or any of you want to do now, we're just going to go long resting.
I drag all the pillows and stuff down from the beds.
I'll try catch Lavender if she's not too busy.
Okay, so with the rest of you sort of getting the ground floor with kind of pillow forts and blankets everywhere, you're Thane, you find Lavender in Morrag's room. The place is in an absolute state. Curtains, bedspreads, the whole lot have been pulled off the walls, off the bed, and she's on the floor with a very, very long pointy needle that's glistening. As you watch it work, you definitely get a sense of magical energy coming from it and from her. She's kind of stuck into her work. She does not see you come in at all.
I just give a very polite knock on the door.
Yes, and she looks over her shoulder at you. Oh, Thane, what? I'm not quite finished yet, but
no, that's okay. This will just take a sec. We got to talk about the first time we met, when you popped into my head in my sleep.
Yeah, sure.
You know that thing you said where I was dead?
No, that I didn't say that. Your dream said that. I just happened to be watching it.
Yeah, what was happening there? Because none of that made any sense to me.
Oh, Lovey, I have no idea. Those were your dreams. I mean, you're probably better off asking Pandora. I mean, she just helped me bridge into your dreamscape.
Pandora is lovely. I mean, you both are lovely, all things considered. But I feel like if I talk to her, I'll depress her and make her very sad.
Stopping just for a moment, kind of what she's doing, she now kind of turns and kind of scoots around to kind of face you.
Yeah.
She's still holding the needle and the bedspread. She kind of looks and she's just, I definitely get that energy from you. I don't know what to tell you, Thane. I saw lots of weird things in all your dreams. I don't know what parts of it were real. I don't know what parts of it were your subconscious. But what I do know, and what Pandora did tell me, is that your dreams are where you sometimes face the things that in real life you're not able to. Did any of it look familiar? Did you?
No.
When Pandora allowed me to walk across all of your dreams, I got the sense that all of you are very capable and very driven people in your own ways. I saw a lot of hurt, and I saw a lot of fear and sadness and anger and loneliness. I think all of that stuff is real. I think some, and she looks away as she's kind of speaking to you now. I think some of you are better at facing it and wanting to face it than others, but that's not for me to judge or for me to question. So whatever it is that you dream of, it's only a small part of you. You can leave it there, or you can try and face it.
Okay, that's good, because I was coming up to ask you if it did mean anything, because I was fully ready to leave that in the dirt on the Forgotten Path, and that's where all that weirdness is staying. But thanks, Lavender. 2 good chats in one night.
Mm-hmm. She whips some of the fabric kind of around onto her lap, and she just gets back to sewing. You come downstairs and you see that Nate, Hephaestus, and Pandora have all kind of fallen asleep under blankets next to kind of a dwindling fireplace. You do see that Fia is perched atop of an ottoman. She's kind of watching the door. She looks up as she sees you coming down the stairs, but she doesn't say anything.
I just kind of give a wave and I sit at the bar. Wasn't the bar in the Jasmine Gardens, wasn't it kind of like a square thing in the middle?
Dead center, yeah.
Dead center. So I go on the side that's kind of opposite the fire, and I just take out a piece of paper, a few pieces of paper, and I just start writing before bed.
Fia, you watch as Thane makes some notes at the bar. You don't see what he's writing or really what he's doing, but after a little while he kind of gets up, yawns, and moves towards one of the larger armchairs, throws himself into it. A few moments later, Lavender comes down with 4 very heavy looking cloaks. She lays them on top of the bar and flits towards Pandora and scooches in beside her. She nods at you and she falls asleep as well. With kind of night rolling by, Fia, it's just you on kind of first watch, and obviously you're going to have to wake somebody else up.
So I'm going to wake Nate up, because I know he's like me and doesn't need as much sleep.
With kind of daybreak, Nate, you saw that Pandora was kind of awake at first light. She kind of just waved at you straight down into the kitchen, and she's making breakfast. The rest of you kind of wake up to the sound of pots and pans clattering, the sound of like oil hissing and spitting. The smell of food just kind of starts to fill the space, and Lavender wakes up with a kind of a big yawn, and a rolling stretch. Seeing the 4 of you awake, she's like, "Oh, morning. I have gifts or payments or whatever it is you want to call them," and she gestures towards the cloaks on the bar.
I get up and walk over to have a look at them.
You see that again. It's just it looks like curtains, and it looks like bed sheets that have been cut up and resewn and stitched back together to form hooded cloaks. On the outside, there's kind of a waxiness to them, and it's obviously to prevent rain, or at least slow it down. The inside of the cloak is very heavy, so it looks like it will protect you from like the cold and the elements, but there doesn't feel to be anything different about them. It looks like a Halloween costume your mom might have made on a budget, kind of a thing.
So these will disguise us?
Yeah. Now, it's not my best work. If we had a bit more time, I could certainly have put in a bit more effort, but these will get you into the city. Once you put these on and you put the hood on, all you have to do is think about the person you want to look like, and your shape to everybody else will be perceived as that person. Trust me.
So if I put this on now and just leave the hood hanging down, it won't take effect till I pop it up.
Correct.
Okay. I point at the four of them, wondering which one is mine.
Oh, they're more or less all the same.
So I just pick one up that's the closest to me and just pop it over my shoulders.
Yeah, I'll grab one and I won't put it on yet, but I just carry it with me.
Pandora kind of pops up again with just it's freshly made bread, eggs, and sort of fried sausages and stuff like that. So it's just a big platter of food.
We're really going to have to do some hardcore adventuring to work all of this off, guys. This is some good food.
I did tell you not to eat 4 scones.
Yeah, well, you told us a lot of things, Pandora, and, I wanted to eat 4 scones.
No judgment.
Fair enough.
What are you and Lavender going to do now, Pandora?
Lavender says we're going to go home, so...
Where is that?
We're going back to the Fae. We won't be on this realm anymore.
That's good. You got away from Morrag, so...
That's the plan. And she kind of shrugs her shoulders. The food tastes great. Like she can cook as well as screwing up a dream. She's really good at cooking. You see that kind of Lavender and Pandora they've brought up 2 small kind of sprite-sized rucksacks and they've piled some stuff into it. The entire time that you've been kind of eating, you've watched Lavender has been kind of going to the bar and taking bottles and just smashing it against walls. And
hey, hang on, that one looks expensive.
She's dousing the place. I don't think anybody would object if we watched this place burn.
I think we should collectively set the fire that does it.
Yeah.
Joyously, she pulls a box of matches from under the. It's kind of like she had these. They're wrapped in a ribbon. She was waiting for this moment.
It's like she had like a small fairy-sized pouch, and then pulled out a box of matches that was bigger than it.
Yes, yeah. It's a bag of Fae holding. Sorry,
it's bigger on the inside.
Celebratory box of matches. It's the equivalent of the bottle of champagne and the ship's hull. Except you're setting fire to something. She's kind of going around making sure that everything is flammable now, and she's got a couple of bottles stored that she's flitted outside with. So some of you, we didn't really talk about it, but I know you have a mark, the Fae, that won't last. And she's just kind of tapping her knuckles against each other.
How long do we have?
Everybody is different, but the further away you are from me and Lavender and the realm of the Fae, then the power should fade gradually.
Okay.
If we're talking time-wise, probably the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, when winter rolls around. Yeah.
That's okay. I mean...
We didn't have it when you came here anyway, so...
Yeah. I think we'll be okay without it when it goes.
I think Fia's a fan of whatever she's got going on.
Pandora kind of with you kind of saying it's okay. She takes it as kind of whew. Guilt gone.
Change my mind, fuck you!
Take your magical fate. She flies off with kind of the 2 bags that they'd packed, and she flies out the door.
I kind of take in my satchel a couple of if there's breads and stuff out and just pack them away to bring with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can add a ration to you've done it as well, Festa. Yeah. So you can both kind of add a ration to your pack.
Taking a lot of booze.
There's not a whole pile left.
I definitely made sure that there was some.
Yeah, but she already
smashed them.
I smashed them good, real good. With you kind of all kind of packed up. Do you want to give me a perception check thing just to see if you see that she didn't smash every bottle?
Yes, please. That's 16.
Yeah, you find a half-empty bottle of Goldschlager. You kind of all follow outside, and you find that it's actually quite bright. There's a crispness. It's that perfect kind of autumn morning. Lavender is just full on, almost like she had a drum of kerosene. It's just using bottles of booze. Everyone give me a perception check. Just while you're outside and you're kind of taking it in.
5.
16 again.
24.
5.
Okay, so Festa and Nate, you're both just kind of oh... Is that booze I smell? And yeah, so you're both...
That's about right.
It's a bit that's a bit much for first thing in the morning. But Thane and Fia, your attention is kind of drawn back towards the path that you came on, and it looks a little bit different. You don't see the tracks that you made. In fact, it looks to be a little overgrown. So what was a kind of a sludgy, thick, muddy path is now a very, very dry patch of dirt.
Lavender?
Mm-hmm. And she's just splash, 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 splash.
I'm just wondering... The path looks very overgrown from what it was.
As you're trying to figure this out, you notice via Pandora looking a little sheepish.
Pandora? What's wrong?
Maybe a little more time passed when we were in the Fey dreamscape again?
You said it was like 2 to 3 days. How much time has passed?
She licks her ring finger and just kind of points it up into the air. Best guess? It's been about 7 days.
7 days?
That's fine.
No, it's not fine.
Oh, the heat has died down off us.
But the trail for Eugenia could have grown a bit cold. This is going to be so much harder to find her.
Well, look, there's not much we can do about it now.
You can never trust the Fae.
Your time is different to our time. I'm sorry.
I understand that you don't know time or whatever, but actually knowing how much time had passed initially would have been great.
Fia, of all things to get upset about, I really feel like this isn't worth our time.
I guess you're right. It's going to make it so much harder to figure all this stuff out.
There's just the sound of a match scratching. Anybody else?
Yeah, I click my fingers and cast Create Bonfire.
Can I have a match?
Lame.
Okay.
I'll let the work get done for me.
Okay. Appreciate it. Pandora doesn't take one either. She kind of stands back. Well, I say stand, she's flying. But she flies back with Nate as she watches Hephaestus produce a flame in her hand. Thane click his fingers and bonfire erupt. And then Fia and Lavender kind of lighting matches. Within moments, the tavern is just a 2-floor inferno. Lavender and Pandora take a moment just to watch this place burn. Turning her back to it, Lavender flies towards Pandora and Nate takes the young sprite in hand and kind of flies towards the path. She stops for a moment, looks back at the four of you, and she looks over at Pandora. I just want to say thank you. You've given us a chance at a proper life and freedom. We won't waste it. And she squeezes Pandora's hand. We're going to go home. And like Pandora is kind of, with seeing Lavender kind of stop, she just, thanks. And behind them, like, you just see kind of like light kind of refract and start to shimmer. Kind of having found her resolve again, Lavender kind of points to the path heading kind of northeast. You will come across after about a day and a half of traveling. The path will split. If you take that path to the right, it will bring you to the main road to Tezrab. Good luck in whatever it is you are hoping to do. I won't forget any of you. And she turns to kind of lead Pandora into the almost like it's like a broken mirror type effect with it, and she flies towards it and she just disappears. Pandora, just looking at the four of you, bows her head. You see that she's crying. Without saying anything, she turns and she flies into the portal as well. And just as quickly as it formed, it's gone. The trees in this area of the Montague Forest are either dead or dying, that there's very little green, and you wouldn't really expect it in autumn anyway, but you'd still expect some of the branches to hold some sort of foliage, but you don't see any kind of wildlife. You don't notice any kind of form of green or any real kind of life or vegetation. Kind of plodding along in almost silence without kind of saying a word. What's the formation here? Who's leading the charge?
I'll go up front.
I'll take the back.
You're kind of ahead of everybody else, keeping not really keeping an eye out. You're just ahead of everybody else, and you are diligently kind of watching your backs just to make sure. So if both of you want to give me perception checks,
Cool.
Thane and Nate.
9.
20, unnatural.
So you don't see it at all, even though it's right in front of you. Thane, you've been keeping an eye on the back, but a couple of times you've watched Nate ahead, and the person who's leading the group should be keeping an eye on what's in front. And you've kind of found him, he's not even walking in a straight line. He's not even following the path half the time. And he's kind of wandering off of it. He's kind of looking up into the sky around him. In the distance, you can see it. And then you can there's a very, very faint smell of smoke. And it definitely isn't the Jasmine Garden.
This is non-alcoholic smoke.
Non-alcoholic smoke, yeah.
Does anyone else see all that smoke? Not the one behind us, the one in front of us. Nate? I move up to everyone to the front, and I kind of go, okay, what do we do here? This could be like a camp. This could be bounty hunters.
I mean, if we can just pinpoint it and work around it,
Yeah, I think we can do that. But
you can get us through a
Let's
little bit of
just-
forest, can't you?
let's sneak around the smoke, whatever it is.
Let's check it out. I want to check it out.
All right, Fia, you go check it out, and
Fine,
we'll
I will.
sneak back here.
Give me a stealth check, Fia.
That is a 22.
Yeah, you're just a sneaky old bitch. No, you've with the plume of smoke overhead, you're able to keep an eye on that space. You watch kind of Fia circling into the thick of trees, and then as you kind of watch her step further into the forest, it's almost like she's become invisible. You can't quite see her. You scramble around, so you're actually taking the long way around this. There's an outcropping of just jagged rock that there's very, very dead, yellowy kind of moss clinging to it. And as you kind of scramble up it, they're kind of using the rock as some sort of like shelter or encampment. You see clearly sort of grayish pink kobold wearing a rather like Joseph's Technicolor coat. That, but it's a waistcoat with a wristwatch strapped onto it and a cap that looks like it's seen better days. You see him he hasn't noticed you, but he is very much haunched over this. It's a small little fire that he's got going in a circle of little rocks.
Seeing that it's only one guy, he doesn't look like a guard or any sort of threat. I'm gonna step out. Hello?
Who's that? And he just immediately he looks up and he's like, I'm but a humble traveling merchant, please. He's completely frazzled. His hands are already up in the air.
Hi, no, sorry, I saw the smoke from your fire. I was just walking past.
He looks up the rocky outcropping and he sees you, and you just sees, I haven't got much money. I've got jam, and his hands are up.
I'm not going to take your money. I was just saying hello.
I
Sorry.
haven't got any.
Might take your jam though.
Are you a merchant or something?
Yes, that's what Jim Jam does. Jim Jam Flim Flam. I'm a merchant. Please don't kill me.
I won't. I'm here with my friends. We're just passing
Oh
through.
God, more killers.
No, we're not killers. No. Sorry, we're
Sometimes.
Sorry, you're not killers.
He's on plus.
I think Sops might disagree.
no, sorry. We're just passing through on the way to Tezrab. We just saw the smoke from your fire, and
Customers who might possibly be killers as well, I suppose. Oh, okay. Please enter my store. And he just gestures to the dirt.
I turned kind of back around from where I came from. Like, guys, come on, it's okay.
Oh God.
What's your name again? Sorry.
Jim Jam Flim Flam to meet your services. I mean, services in your meat.
Hi, Jim Jam. I'm Fia. So what do you sell?
I'm a connoisseur and aficionado of preserves, conserves, and jams.
Oh, can I have a look?
As long as you don't kill me, yes. No. So he has gestured for you to come down off the rocky outcropping, and
I do that, and I walk slowly as unthreateningly
murderously as I can.
as
So
I
yeah,
can.
Fia.
you don't really hear. No, you don't even hear
Oh,
Fia.
okay.
You hear this this warbled exclaim of fear.
Sounds like Fia's trying to kill someone again.
I mean, do we have dinner for tonight? Or
I mean, we packed a lot of food from the Jasmine Gardens, so I mean that should do us for like a day.
I just sigh really heavily, pull out my sickle, and go toward where.
So you're like, oh fuck this shit, and you're gone. Yeah, you see again. He's watching Fia. His hands are still up in the air. On seeing the three of you kind of approach, he kind of backs a little bit towards the fire.
I nudge Hephaestus and Nate as we're kind of walking down and just whisper we maybe won't use our names because they're probably still on wanted posters everywhere.
I definitely come out of the tree line, sickle in hand, ready for whatever fight Fia's gotten us
You bloody
into now.
murderous customers.
And then I shout, Hephaestus, put your sickle away.
Why? Who is this? What are you doing? What is this?
He's just a merchant. He sells jam.
Going to kind of shake your hand, but his hands are still up, so he's extending his wrist a little bit. Jim Jam Flim Flam, pleased to meet you. Please don't kill me.
It's okay, Jim Jam. These are my friends. This is Hephaestus and Thane and Nate.
Fia!
What?
Hi, welcome, friend. We thought we lost you in the forest.
So you were kind of rifling. So you come across this with Fia kind of rifling through it. There's two very distinct pots on the table. Fia, there's about 3 jars of each. They're actually they look quite well made. There is a violet. Well, I say violet. It's violet with very thick chunks of brown jam in one. And you see that it's written on it. It's nullberry jam. Underneath them, there's kind of a description that reads, pungent overripe fruit with a thick meat in an onion gravy. The other that you're looking at is gelatinous orange.
I really like how bright and fluorescent that one is, and I think it's really cute. It's like, how much is it?
The gelatinous orange is 5 gold pieces.
5 gold pieces for jam.
But look at it, it's so pretty.
We can get jam in Tezrab.
It does come with a special offer.
What is it?
Keep talking.
It's a lucky dip. So you buy the jam, you dip your hand in the sack, and you get something back.
I want to try. Okay. So I hand over 5 gold.
Fia's gonna get us all killed.
Okay, so you've bought a jar of the gelatinous orange. So kind of taking the money, he with his hands still up over his head, by the way, he's got 5 gold pieces in one hand, and with his index finger he points at the sack. Lucky dip, no luck. Just dip your hand in, grab the sack, get something back.
Yeah, I go straight for it. I'm just really excited.
Okay. So give me a roll of a D20.
19.
Okay. So you reach in. The sack feels very, very wet and empty at the same time. It's like you've put your hand into the ocean, but the ocean isn't there, and your mind is trying to remember what that would feel like. Just when you're about to kind of give up, you feel something kind of on the fringes, and you grab, and it feels like a ring, and you pull it out, and there's just a simple iron ring with what looks like ram horns on it. Ooh, very good.
Wow.
I'm just gonna go and just pick up a random jar of jam.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. If you don't give a shit about what you're buying, roll a d20, and if it's 1 to 10, it's going to be the nullberry, and if it's 11 to 20, you're getting the gelatinous orange.
Right. 16.
You've also got a jar of gelatinous orange. That'll be whatever I said Fia paid for it.
5 gold.
5 gold.
And I'm just gonna ram my hand down in the bat sack.
Okay. So yeah, you just fist the sack. Hit it.
7.
Yeah, you reach down into the sack, and it's your hand feels wet, but it's not water, and it feels full, but there's nothing in there. And you pull back, and you just have a piece of paper in your hand that says, "Try again."
God damn, I'm going again.
Can you tell me what this ring is?
Oh yeah,
That I got.
Fia's got a trinket.
He takes the ring in your hand and goes, "Oh yes. That is the harder ring.
Tell me more about this.
It's a special ring for the ram."
Does it do anything?
Oh yeah, harder.
So anything you do is just harder. Now, do you mean like physically, like ow, harder, or like it's more difficult?
Whatever you feel like, it's your ring.
Fia, can I have the ring?
So
No!
out of
Can I have the ring in 5 minutes behind a tree?
that might be the best fucking thing you've ever said in the entire podcast.
I was just wondering, in terms of the ring, just so I can picture in my head, what is its size in terms of girthiness? When we say it's a ring,
It's not a cock ring. So yeah, you out of game. It's effectively a modified ring of the ram. It has 1 charge per day. You have to attune to it. On a nat 1, the ring will be destroyed. But like as an action, you can effectively summon forth a spectral ram to attack something. So a +7 to attack. And it will do 2d10 force damage and push something 5 feet away from you.
Oh my
I put
god.
it straight onto my finger.
Okay. You can also use it to attack an inanimate object that you can see.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's a +5 to hit inanimate, +7 to hit something.
Because Fia thinks it's really pretty, so she just puts it straight on
Yeah,
the finger.
and
It's like,
it's fucking heavy. Your hand is just like, oh shit. So as you put it on, yeah, it's you kind of feel yourself kind of attuning to it. Yeah, it squeezes a little bit tighter, but it's waiting for your consent to go harder. So
Nate, why didn't you get a cool ring?
shut up, Thane.
So you're buying another jar of the gelatinous orange,
Oh no, I'll get the other one this time.
the nullberry. That's 10 gold pieces.
oh wow.
Don't worry, guys. I'll give you all a turn.
No thanks.
Yeah. So you've now taken a jar. Well, the good news and the bad news is you can buy 1 of each jam, but he will not sell you more than 1 of each jam.
I see.
So this will be your last attempt. Also, I just don't want to encourage gambling on this podcast.
5, good time.
Okay, you reach in again, and as you do this time, it definitely it's a bit thicker and looser at the same time, and you're just your hand is kind of scrambling around. Again, you pull it out, and it's just a piece of paper that says, "Better luck next time."
Shit, piss, fuck.
I think you're trying to ruse us, Mr. Jam.
I just sell jam. You get sack dip for bonus.
I don't know. I like this ring. I might have a go.
Sophia, you've bought one. Nate, you've bought 2 jars. There are 3 jars of jam left. There's 1 gelatinous orange, and there's 2 nullberry jams left.
What does a Nalbury jam taste like, Mr. Flam?
It has notes of null meat, onion, and overripe blueberries.
I can definitely poison someone to that. I will take one.
You're taking the nullberry?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's again, he's raking it in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 10 gold pieces,
Yeah.
and you're going over to the sack straight away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thea, quick, rob him while he's not looking.
No. 18.
You plunge both hands into the sack.
Oh, yeah.
That's not fair. She got 2 hands.
And
Never complained before.
It's to you, it feels a little bit like swimming through jelly, and it parts and sloshes back. You pull your hands out. It's almost like kind of a web-like residue. Your hands are empty.
Fuck this game.
Do you have anything else you could buy? I could trade you. I have some fun stuff you might like.
Jim Jam only deals in jam. You don't have to eat the jam. You give it as a gift. Maybe your mother may appreciate some homemade jams.
Oh my god, I'm definitely giving this to my mother.
So are you buying more jam, or are you fucking off?
Fucking off.
Wow, he's
I
lost
get
all
scammed.
the glitz.
Scammed by Jim Jam.
You got jam.
Yeah, ew.
Sounds sounds like a Jim Jam Flim Flam scam to
Give
me.
me a nature check on the jam.
On that one.
Actually, as you open it and you bought the nullberry,
Yep.
it actually smells really fucking good. It's that sort of like, I don't eat jam. Jam is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Then you open it and then like, oh, that was when I was a kid though. Maybe my palate has evolved, and you cannot resist the urge to eat it. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please, Hephaestus.
Oh, 18.
Gain 1 HP permanently.
Ooh.
The nullberry jam sinks, it greases its way down your throat, and there is a particularly chewy part of the meat that's kind of stuck in your teeth, and as you suck it out, the jam, the rest of the jelly hits your belly, and you just feel kind of a little bit invigorated. You're like,
Jammy.
yeah, let's go fucking kill Morrag.
Got a pep in
I've
my
got 1
step.
extra HP.
Thanks,
I might hold on to that.
Jim Jam. This was great.
Jim Jam has more jam.
I think we're full up on jam.
Yeah.
Want some more jam? Got some jam, man? I got the money.
Nate has a problem.
Full on like, unfortunately, Jim Jam has policy that he does not sell jams, preserves, or conserves to the same customer twice. But a friend can gift you.
I'll get you some jam, Nate. It's okay, Flim Flam. My friend really loves jam. I mean, really, there was a dark time.
You just want the fucking HP, Jer, but I know you.
I don't know. I actually don't care about it. I just want to see if I can get Nate something cool. And if
Oh
it's-
no, whoever puts their hand in the sack gets it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'll put my hand in. You can give me the dip. 19.
So give me a roll of a d4. If you roll a 2 to 3, you'll get the first item. If you roll a 4, you'll get the second item. And if you roll a 1, you get to pick either of the 2.
4.
Oh, Jesus Christ, of course you got it. It's thick and phallic in your hand as you grab it.
Nice.
And you pull it free, and there's just a long trail. And like Jim Jam just starts clapping his hand. Ooh, just the tip.
So excuse me.
You have pulled out a vicious whip called Just the Tip.
Oh my god.
That's
On
so cool.
a nat 20 roll, you get +7 to the damage, as well as critting. You'll get +7 to the damage. So you've got a jar of the nullberry.
Yeah, I do.
And you've got your harder ring, and you've got just the tip whip.
Yeah.
And Hephaestus, you've got +1 HP.
I just like dip a finger in to see if I actually like this.
It tastes like sour blueberries and gravy and meat.
I want to roll to see if I like this because I can't picture that.
Well, are you like, as in,
No, just rolling to see if Tane likes it. If it's between 1 and a 10, he doesn't. Natural 20. What a waste of a natural 20.
We won't get another one of those.
Tane fucking loves it.
okay,
It's delicious.
It's edible.
Yeah, I scoop a bit in my mouth.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
15, I think.
Yeah, same thing. When the jam hits your stomach and it just starts to kind of like your body starts to kind of take what little nutrients are in it. You feel yourself bolstered and you have plus 1 HP to your max.
I eat the whole thing because a natural
It's
20.
not going to do anything different.
Just because I loved it. I loved it so much, and I point the empty jar at Jim Jam, and I'm like, maybe more? You got more? Come on, Flim Flam.
You've bought his jar of Nullberry. You don't get a second jar of Nullberry.
Same. And I chuck in my Nullberry jar.
This is a fair trade.
Now give me a Constitution saving roll with disadvantage. You really don't want to fuck this up.
I really want him to fuck this up, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a 5.
So that plus 1 you just got, you've now lost it. Like
Okay.
it's the opposite effect of it's like, oh, I've eaten way too much, and all I've eaten is a bit of jam, but I've eaten way too much jam.
Just add
and now it's kind of gluing up your insides. Yeah, so you also won't be able to pass for a while.
I'll just add IBS to my character now.
So where are you traveling?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, sorry.
just same as you, Flim Flam, around,
You
you
go
know.
this way, and he's pointing to the path that you were kind of the direction you were going.
Maybe.
Yeah, generally.
Now I'm kind of afraid of the fact that he's like, oh, Jim, and he's putting his hands up defensively against you. Jim, just wanted to say, there's goblins and a mean bugbear. They took Jim Jam's jams, some of them.
Do you want us to get them back, perhaps?
No, Jim Jam just giving friendly customers who may murder him yet a warning.
Thanks, Jim Jam. We'll I suppose scoot around those guys.
You're just gonna head straight on. Yeah, the journey is a lot less eventful after Jim Jam's jam stand, but dusk kind of starts to settle in, and then before you know it, because again it's autumn, it gets darker a lot quicker. Then you spot just a kind of a patch of dirt that looks like it would be slightly less uncomfortable than the rest of the patch of the dirt off the path. So this is effectively night 2. You're going to have to roll to make camp. You're going to have to roll for some survival checks if you want to go hunting or fishing.
Yeah, I'll set up a little fire and smooth things out a little bit, I guess. Make it habitable.
There's no interior design check, so just give me a roll of a d20.
Oh, a natural 20.
Oh, okay. Fucking hell.
There is an interior design check, and now there's suddenly curtains.
You took a
Some
10-week
poofs.
part-time course and you've got a cert of attendance in it. So yeah, you managed to find like a sheet of moss that when you pulled came free fully. So you've made kind of a little carpet. You're not going to suffer any penalties for sleeping here tonight.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Nice. Who has the bread? Bethesda, did you take the bread from the Jasmine Gardens?
Fee and I both took a bit.
Could I have a loaf? Got some jam.
You're addicted to that stuff.
It's really
Did
nice.
you eat your jam?
You did eat.
You ate the
your-
second one as well.
You guys have
You
more
have no
jam.
jam. This is my jam.
Oh my god, are you jonesing for jam?
Guys, come on. We win together, we lose together, we jam together.
Why don't
Look, just
bit of jam.
maybe try to find something else. We don't want to use our rations immediately.
It's okay. I'll go hunting, guys. I can
Oh God.
go hunt down
Pause.
beach or something or
Doomed.
whatever.
You know what? I'll also do that just so we still have a bard in the morning.
Okay. So Nate and Thane are off hunting. Fia?
I just feel like the woman left to like set up camp with
That's already been done. Vesta's done that. So you're just the useless yoke standing there.
Well, thanks very much. I actually want to try out my new ring, like by punching a tree.
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay, give me a strength check plus 5. I'll actually roll a nat 1.
Break your fingers.
7.
It's sort of like Captain Planet almost, where you're like, you hold the ring, you clench, and you go to punch, and instead of a ram, you get like a tiny little lamb, and it's like a little kind of a spectral lamb, and it prances around the tree, and then
Oh.
rubs itself off of it, and then disappears.
Oh, that was so cute.
And useless.
Like Fia.
Oh,
Cute,
no.
but useless. So, speaking of useless, Nate and Thane. Give me survival checks, just to see if you can spot.
20.
18.
You don't spot anything kind of, they don't see like an adorable little bunny flitting away, or a half dead badger about to die. You don't half dead about to die. It's 3/4 dead badger. You don't see any kind of wildlife, but you do stumble across like a large pond. It looks like it may have fish or whatever.
Nate, this kind of looks like a good spot to... Do you like fish?
Yeah.
Okay, I pull out my adventuring kit and I pull out a fairly decent fishing rod. I give that to him and I just kind of try and fashion one for myself.
It's just kind of the two of you sitting there at this creek. Nothing seems to be biting, and there's just sound of silence.
So, Nate, the jam, pretty good. Good jam.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't try it.
Oh, you should try some of the jam. It's good.
Yeah. Well, in that case, then I'd pull out my gelatinous orange jam.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. Constitution. So that is 18.
So you are peppy as you. Okay, you've instant heartburn. There are noxious notes of citrus of every type, and a sort of an electrical sting as it slides down your throat and hits your belly. There's a strong aftertaste of burnt toast. Like, it's just, yeah. And you are very awake. You are so fucking awake right now. You will be awake for the next 24 hours and not suffer from exhaustion.
Woo.
Wow. Yeah, Thane doesn't really notice that. He's still just kind of like bobbing the fish hook in the water. He's like, so, you got any questions? You know, we never really have time to talk.
Questions what?
You know, the other morning when you kind of walked in on me.
Oh, the blood penis. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was my arm. I thought the penis thing would kind of throw you off the scent and think I was doing something that didn't involve that other stuff.
Oh, good, because for a second there I was almost impressed.
No, I just hope you're not weirded out.
No, I mean, you know, look, we've all got our thing, I suppose. You have creepy hands and...
Well, just hand.
Hands, sorry, yeah.
This one's fine.
Yeah. But like, what, I suppose, I don't know, what is it?
I don't know. It's just my arm. It's just the way it's always been. So...
Does it hurt, or...?
No. Not a lot of... it's weird, not a lot of things hurt. No, this arm is weird, but it's nothing evil or sinister. Ha ha ha. It's not. It's just a weird arm.
Well, like, look, it's your arm. If it doesn't hurt you, if you don't feel any particular way about it. Like, if I have a problem, that's me problems, and I don't. But just in general, like, I don't. You don't need to worry about hiding it or anything. It's.
I don't know. I think probably best not to mention it to Fio or Festa.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no problem.
I don't. You're taking it well. You seem really attentive right now.
Yeah, just I feel good. I'm alert. I'm looking for some food. You and me, just a couple of boys, hanging out, doing some things, doing some hunting, getting some food, gonna feed them women.
Yeah.
Just gotta, I'm staying alert. I'm just.
Then give me a strength check with disadvantage since you are not paying attention.
That is just a straight up strength check.
Yeah.
12.
Oh, I wanted anyway, so we're going to win it. I just wanted to be a 9/10 of the way dead fish has sort of like fainted onto your hook, and you feel it just kind of, it tugs on your arm. There it is. A very thick, fat, 9/10 of the way dead fish.
As I yank it out, I just kind of use the other hand and throw the 3 stones at it and just like brain dead it.
You really didn't need to. But yeah, sure. With the sweet release of death, the fish breathes kind of
I'm sorry, it's sort of flopped now on the ground, is it?
No, it's dead. It didn't flop.
Okay, well, either way, I jump on top of it and I start punching it.
Whoa, Nate, hang on. That's not how you fish.
Okay, yeah, you actually burst its head.
I sort of turn and look at Nate and go, hunting!
You know what? This is a really good first attempt. This is great. I think the gang will be really impressed with that.
Thank you very much.
I take my leather duster off and kind of like lay the fish on it so that we're not just carrying it limp. Do you think we can get another one, or do you want to call it a night?
Yeah, I can do it, man. What have you
I hand him the fishing
you
rod.
One, I can get 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Give me a survival check.
17.
Fuck's sake. On seeing its colleague, finally embrace death, a fellow fish is like, oh, that seems to be a way out. That seems to be a thing that, yeah, I'll take that. It sort of fish rolls onto the hook.
Okay, I yank the rod and whip it up over my head and sort of slam the fish down onto the shore.
Yep. It's fucking dead. And it's also now covered in dirt.
We'll clean that up. It'll taste great. You angry about something? Are you okay?
No, I'm just a guy doing mad things. That's all.
You like missing Eugenia? Is that kind of it? Like you're compensating?
Eugenia. Oh, Eugenia. Yeah, no, totally. Just my the old ball and chain. Yeah, no, thinking lots about her.
You sure, Nate? You sure?
Yeah, boy.
We cut back to Festa and Fia. At this stage, they're two rabid dogs because they've been told not to eat their rations. They're resisting the urge to do so.
For some reason, Hephaestus just has a terrible headache all of a sudden. Like, she can sense what's happening out there.
Do you think they're having any luck?
Honestly, no. I expect very little.
I'm so hungry. I think we should just eat without them.
Just give them a minute to come back anyway.
Well, I'm
So,
not
Nate, you want to go for a swim?
I can't quit you.
Okay. An hour passes, and Fia has been sneaking some of the bread. You're using this sort of hunger and this headache as fuel for hatred.
Yeah.
And an hour later, you just see kind of waddling back to camp a very wet Thane and a very wet Nate, two fish in hand or on a leather
Thing.
thing.
Did you swim after them or something?
Oh, you would not believe it. These fish. Nate, I mean, you're the storyteller.
Well, we were in the wilds. We knew you.
Can I just take the fish?
Okay, yeah. So you just take the fish.
Start clean. Like, he can say whatever he wants, but I am cleaning the fish and throwing it on the fire
Yeah.
and trying to get some food.
Do you know what? Just give me a survival check just to see how well you clean and
16.
yeah, so it's fine. It's edible. It's not going to... There's not a whole lot left. The head's missing from this one.
Meanwhile, Nate's still prattling off his story.
Yeah, so you're full on, like, just... It's sort of Heart of Darkness, but fishing. So, yeah, you've cleaned and gutted the fish, and they're fried and they're cooked, and you're eating by the time he's now halfway through the story. The three of you are kind of just sitting there in silence, eating. Nate is still going, and the three of you start to feel tired and exhausted. Is there anything any of you want to do before we call it a night and you take everyone but Nate will be able to take a long rest. So you can take watch.
I get out my notebook and start writing some more. This is the thing Thane does now.
Just who I am.
Well, perhaps he's always been doing it, but you only notice it now.
Or Fia's been doing it, now Thane thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
Which makes
Oh
it
no,
loser.
the opposite.
The three of you kind of try to sleep, but it takes a little bit of time because you're just trying to drown out or get used to the sound of Nate still telling the story. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and then eventually you're just asleep. And you wake up at the crack of dawn, and you kind of the fire. You didn't even tend to it. You just told the story, and then you start telling other stories about fish that you heard, and you all wake up slightly colder, slightly damper than you would have thought. You notice that the yesterday's kind of clear weather has been kind of washed out with heavy grey clouds, and there is a low fog kind of permeating.
Wow, Nate, I didn't realize we caught that many fish. We must have dropped some on the way back. Create bonfire and...
I like the idea that you actually say it every time you
I mean, it's the one thing I can do.
You look tired. Did you not sleep?
No, I'm good. Baby.
Did you eat?
Oh no, oh man, no, I'm feeling strong, feeling good. Oh, don't need any of that stuff.
Okay.
You mean food? You don't need...
No, sorry, my body's sort of like a temple itself. Don't you worry about me. Don't you worry. You can admire me, but don't worry
No.
about me.
No.
Is it like a temple
Neither.
in that you're really nuts about cleaning it?
Yeah, baby.
What are the four of you doing aside from wondering if you should get a doctor?
I start packing up, getting ready to keep moving.
Head out.
Yeah.
You're not.
Let him do his thing.
Okay, so
He'll get through it.
who's
just background
taking,
noise.
Who's taking front? Who's taking rear? Who's plodding along the middle?
I'll take front.
Yeah, I'll take the rear again.
Plodding along.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of running up and down. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
between both.
like I'm trying to, keep an eye everywhere.
Okay, so
At least he's paying attention this time.
Fia and Nate give me perception. Nate, you give me perception with disadvantage, just because you're whizzing up and down.
17.
Disadvantage, yeah, 4.
Look at the tree!
Yeah, so it is. Oh god, tree. Oh god, dirt. Oh god, a clod of dirt. Oh god, a clod of tree dirt. So yeah, it's just you're seeing everything, but you're also seeing fuck all. Fia, on the other hand, you do see that as the road kind of continues on, you now kind of find yourselves kind of there's a slight slope at the bottom of this kind of little hill. There's, kind of it's like the road has been kind of cut into the hill. At either side of it, it's these two sort of muddy, high walls of dirt and rock and tree trunks that have been carved into spikes. There's a very, very big hole in the middle of the road at the bottom, and you can see a thick, heavy fence barricading the passageway.
The hell? How are we supposed to get around this?
I mean, maybe if we just knock, you know?
After you.
Yeah, okay, 100%. I'll do that. Before I walk forward, I just look at the ground, make sure I'm not walking in any traps or like anything like...
a perception check?
Yep.
As he does, can I just like back up into the tree line a little bit?
I got a 15.
Okay. Yeah, so you're letting him go ahead and you're also taking kind of a step or two back.
Like, can I hide in the tree line?
So yeah, you're trying to perceive for traps. You don't see, other than the pitfall, which is not even covered. You don't see any tripwire. You don't see covered over bear traps or anything like that. As you approach, an arrow just flies by. Like it misses you by like about 3 meters.
Whoa! Hey! Whoa! And I stop and put up my hands. What's the deal?
As you kind of approach with your hands up, you see two goblins kind of scrambling over their own feet. They're in kind of tattered ruins of armor. Both have crossbows. You see one does not have an arrow, and he's looking kind of flushed in the face. He's like, "Oh shit, I missed," and he's kind of shaking. The other one is he steps forward and he looks down behind the rock.
Pay the line?
Toll! Pay the toll! By Samhain's beard, we've been over this! In one kind of leap, you just see a very tall, muscular bugbear land between the two goblins. I told you, Skittles. I told you. It's all about confidence. Enunciate. Go from the gut. And he slaps the goblin really hard into the gut and he's winded.
Hey, whoa! Skittles did a really good job. I believed him.
We'll be with you in a moment, so we have cheating problems.
The audience is always right.
I love how you're already getting into this thespian thing, and I haven't even described him as such yet. But thank you. I do apologise. Listen, my little troop. This is a while earlier than we had thought, and we were discussing the need to rehearse and fully engage with dialogue and emotions. You see, of course, all these simple things, but in the theatre, it really just brings you to the zen. Now, pay up.
Are you their teacher?
Or we'll fucking crack your skulls.
You know what? I really believed you there.
What's your AC?
15.
Okay. That would be 20 I rolled. And I get to do a thing now with this.
Oh, they add more damage.
That's 7.
Thought we could go one session without Thane getting the shit kicked
13.
out of him. Yeah, that's the shit. That would be the shit.
You all just see kind of a javelin just kind of be tossed into the air. This bugbear catches it in one hand and just immediately flings it straight towards Thane. It just hits you right into the shoulder. It just explodes out the other side.
How high up are they?
They're about 20 feet up.
I cast Create Bonfire right in the middle of their fence and set it on fire.
As a reaction?
Yeah, sure.
Can you?
Well, we're not in combat, so I just do it as like, ooh, fuck you.
Yeah, so as you're kind of knocked back, you create a bonfire right in the middle of the fence. Now, they're on a rocky outcrop, like the muddy outcropping looking down.
Okay. Well.
Okay, right, let's roll for initiative. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Everyone just saw Thane get super fucked up. Again.
It's his own doing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I was talking and being
it's always
nice.
his own fault.
Oh.
7.
Okay.
12.
14.
So just as a quick rundown, it's Thane, Ian McKellen, the goblins, Hephaestus, Nate, and Fia. So
What's the other goblins' name for?
Skittles, Skeeve, Skank, and Stank. They're twins.
I love them.
Skittles.
I just told you that there were 4. Never mind that. You've only seen Skittles and Skeeve.
I hope they're wearing name tags.
Thane, you've been skewered.
I've been skewered and I don't appreciate it. So I pull out my crossbow. I'm going to shoot this bugbear.
Okay.
Right in his face. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's a natural 18. It's 9 damage. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to magic stone him. That's a natural 1.
Immediately just drawing your crossbow with a javelin sticking out of your right arm, you aim with your left, you fire, and you shoot back, and you kind of catch him right across the left cheek. It's just, my face! And he's just, he goes to kind of grab it. He nudges Skeeve, the one that hadn't fired the crossbow. Seeing you kind of pick up, with the stone, it bounces off the barricade, but somewhat distracted, Skeeve is going to get, these people are awful at shooting. So yeah, Skeeve, a little bit like, oh god, and his short bow, it's a 17.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But it's a shit damage because the arrow is made of crap. And not actual crap, but it's just very badly made. It catches you and it cuts across your arm. Take 3 damage. Yeah, it's Ian McKellen's turn.
Before he goes, I would like to use my movement to get like right up to the fence so that like.
So there's the pitfall between the fence, so you'll have to jump the pitfall.
Yeah, I'll jump that.
Okay, give me an athletics check with disadvantage with a javelin sticking out of you.
That's a 12.
Take 5 bludgeoning damage. You all just see Thane run, jump, slip, and fall head first. Into the pitfall. Ian McKellen just starts it's kind of quite a raucous, bellowing laugh. On seeing you kind of disappear into the pitfall, he assumes you're dead. He's going to make an athletics check to try and clear it because that's how this works. That would be a nat 1.
Oh.
Well, we got one less person to fight.
Okay, so he also falls into the pitfall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he makes he goes to run and jump, but slips on some of Skittles' sweat, loses his footing, and tumbles headfirst into the pitfall and falls in on top of you. So it'll be you and Ian McKellen in the pit together. Skittles and Skeeve are going to take a shot at Hephaestus and Nate. So can I get your ACs?
11.
Okay, so Hephaestus, you're going to get hit anyway.
We need to get you some better
And
armor.
Nate, I nat wand it. Yeah, Hephaestus, just an arrow just kind of flies straight from the mound of dirt. They have the sun to their back, and even though it's overcast, it's still kind of blinding a little bit, and you're not quite sure. And there's also the smoke from the fire. An arrow whizzes past, and it just sticks you. Take 5 damage.
Oh, just a little bit, Jesus.
Yeah, what is with me in describing damage? You just a little pinprick. You're dead. Your head fell off. I'm sorry. Yeah, Nate, an arrow just kind of whizzes right past you. It just kind of stops midair. Like he didn't shoot it with enough force. It just it's like a paper airplane. It's like and then bam, it just hits the dirt. But you have a free action because I nat wand it, so you get to do something.
Oh, I will just throw a dagger,
Straight at. Okay,
straight between the eyes.
so you're aiming for a Skeeve.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is not good enough. 11.
It actually is.
So 5 damage.
Okay, yeah, Skeeve is not looking good, everybody. Yeah, you just, there's it's like he's kind of looking at it and the dagger hits his belly and just to see as it does, Skittles turns to him kind of snickering and he's like,
Is this a dagger I see before me?
and Skeeve is just a little bit like,
Not the time.
yeah. So the others
There's more?
piss off. Theo, what's your passive perception?
15.
Oh fuck yeah, you see them both. They might as well be they might as well have like a neon sign over their heads, kind of skulking through the woods. I say skulking, cheerleading through the woods. You see 2 other goblins with kind of scimitars in hand, trying to kind of come around ye. You've spotted them straight away. Nate and Hephaestus, you're just kind of distracted, and Thane, you're in a hole.
Who are they closest to?
So they're kind of flanking, so they're coming towards you and Hephaestus on the left hand side.
Okay.
Hephaestus.
I'm just gonna blast the one that shot at me. So that is that's a 20 to hit, not natural.
Okay,
And that's 4 damage.
yeah. So kind of a little bit frazzled and like taken aback by the arrow that just you did 5 damage. Yeah, you bite down and you just throw your hand out and an Eldritch Blast out. Good old Eldritch Blast just bursts from your hand. It soars through the sky and it strikes Skittles. And at that exact same moment, Skeeve just kind of turns and it's like,
Never see thy face, but I think upon hellfire.
and they both start snickering at each other. Ian McKellen down below is just like he's tearing up. Like his boys are quoting Shakespeare's a spear.
Who? Save.
Fake spear.
Yeah.
Fake spear.
Fake javelin. You're done, Hephaestus?
Yes.
Okay, Nate.
So, just so I can see it in my mind's eye, they're up on a barricade.
Yeah.
And the distance between them and me is
Roughly about 55 feet.
55 feet.
So 30 feet across and then 20 feet up.
How close are they all to each other?
Skittles and Skeeve are like right beside each other.
Yeah, and then the other.
The other 2 that Fia has pointed out are on the left-hand side, so they're about 20 feet away from me.
She hasn't pointed.
From the other.
Oh, she did not. You're correct. Yeah. So Fia did not, so you don't even know that there's other goblins coming because you didn't see them.
Okay, well, regardless, the Skittles and Skeeve, I will cast Shatter.
Okay.
60 feet.
Nice.
Okay. Do they roll a Constitution saving
Yes,
throw?
they do Constitution saving throw.
Okay. We're just going to roll once between the 2. That would be 11.
No. Sorry, I don't know what a D8 looks like. would be, that's 8 damage each.
Okay. They're blown to bits. So you kind of cast it between them.
Yeah.
So not only are they blown to bits, Thane, overhead you all hear it, but overhead you just see that mound of dirt that they'd built into like kind of a wall between the hill. The dirt heat crumples. Skeeves and Skittles are literally dust. Let me get a quote from the Tempest for that one.
So whoever lands the killing blow has to go to be or not to be.
Tibet or to be.
That is the question. Answered.
So, kind of on seeing this, on seeing the barricade just explode, and that sort of rupturous sound that kind of echoes throughout the Montague Woods, Ian McKellen kind of looks up, and his forearm kind of over his head. Just, oh, tomorrow, and tomorrow. Line. And he's kind of looking around for assistance. Fia.
Okay, are these two that are encroaching on us within 5 feet
Of each other?
of us?
No, I said they were 20 feet.
20 feet away. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to shoot one of them with my short bow. 20 for 9 damage.
Yeah, Skank is dead.
Oof.
It's just right into the head, and he just falls straight down backwards, dead.
Then I'm going for my bonus action. I'm going to use Blessing of the Raven Queen to go behind the other guy.
Okay.
And basically come up behind him with a dagger to his neck to get him to stop.
God damn.
What the fuck happened to you in the woods? For a second, you just see Fia fire an arrow into the woods, kind of like, and then you look to see that there were goblins coming. She didn't alert you. As soon as you just hear kind of, and then a thud, and Fia is just, she's gone, and then she reappears, and she's standing behind this goblin with a dagger to his throat. Give me an intimidation check.
That's a 7.
Oh yeah, you're awful at this.
Stop it!
You hold the dagger to his throat. Shank bites your arm and kind of whips around, and he's now kind of like it's Final Fantasy time. He's ready to go here.
I have resistance to damage until my next turn.
Oh, fucking Raven Queen.
Just damage in general?
It's a Raven Queen thing until the start of our next turn.
Oh, it's a Raven Queen.
Yeah.
That is
Raven Queen. Thane.
So the
It's you and Ian McKellen.
Yep, the bonfire on the fence, that kind of fizzles out
yeah.
as I point at him and I hex him. He has disadvantage on any strength ability.
How have you got Hex now?
I've had hex for the past million years. I just never use it. Yeah, surprise, motherfucker. And now I'm gonna, since I still have the crossbow, I'm just gonna shoot him with that. I roll 21 to hit and then 8 damage.
Almost at point blank range, you fire a crossbow right into his chest. He stumbles back, kind of slips on his own feet. So Hex, it's a disadvantage on all checks.
Disadvantage on strength checks.
On strength checks, okay. Which is great, because that's what he uses to hit. Yeah, he, with a Morning Star, like the kind of that he had hooked on his belt, he swings it up, brings it down overhead, and it just thuds into the wall of the pitfall beside you. He misses by a mile. Yeah, it's Shank's turn. And Shank's pissed because you just killed his twin brother. Skank.
Yep.
For the hit. A 9.
That doesn't it. Okay. It doesn't matter if it does anyway.
He immediately jumps back. He just disengages, so he puts a little bit of distance between the both of you. It is Hephaestus.
Can I run over and peek down into the pit, see what's going on in there?
Yeah, you rush. So that'll use your full movement.
Yeah.
You rush down the hill. There in the pit, you see a very bloodied-looking Thane with an even more bloodied-looking bugbear. He's got a Morning Star stuck in a dirt wall. He's kind of growling at Thane. He's losing kind of the run of himself and these airs and graces that he has.
How close are they to each other?
They're kind of on top of each other. Yeah, there's less than 5 feet between them.
Look.
Blast the fucking bugbear.
Okay.
All my cool things are gonna kill him. Oh yeah, no, that's a 22.
Yeah, he's
with 7 damage.
Yeah. Just from overhead, there's just a familiar flash of blue and black flames. And Thane, as you look up, you just see kind of Hephaestus snarling down into the pit. Fire erupts from her hand, and Ian McKellen, the bugbear, is just incinerated. He falls to his knees, one hand clutching his chest, the other hand kind of held aloft. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out! Brief. Candler. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. And he's dead.
There's no one to give him applause.
Nate. It's your turn.
Wait, oh, I thought he died.
Oh, he's dead, yeah, but
Yeah.
There's still one
there's
goblin.
still Shank.
Oh. Oh. Throw the dagger.
Ninja star! A dagger, a ninja dagger.
Yeah, so that hits. So that is a 21 and then a 1 plus 3, so that's 4 damage.
Fucking hell. I mean, as the GM, I'm glad that you did that, and I'm really happy for you. Yeah, as he kind of jumps back away from you, he gets stabbed in the back with a flying dagger. And while Skank fell backwards, Shank falls forward, and there's just a dagger sticking out of his back between his shoulder blades.
Ooh.
They're dead. They're all dead.
I pull the dagger out of his back, kind of angrily, and I walk over to where the pit is, to where Thane is. It's like, you just couldn't resist it,
This
could
is
you?
not my fault. I got a spear thrown at me. I would like to loot Ian McKellen.
Oh my god.
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. That is a 15.
Yeah, so you successfully... Now give me a D12 roll while I Google this frantically for you.
Oh my god, I'm finally using a D12. That's a 3?
As he's looting, I pass Nate's dagger back to him.
Okay, so you took it out of that goblin's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got goblin on your dagger.
Very much.
You rolled a 3, Dane? You find bundled firewood on his person. Handy for starting bonfires.
Just what I need.
So redundant.
We were having.
And that's from Lady Tiefling when I loot the ...
I climb out.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it because it's going to take a bit of time, but you climb out of it. You find that as the rest of you kind of pour around it, you do see that Thane is kind of maneuvering out of the pit. The barricade that they had built has kind of crumbled between Shatter and the fire. You've cleared the path, basically. Like you set it on fire and then you blew it up.
Okay.
You're just going to head down the path.
I'll walk on, yeah.
There isn't like a camp or anything, or like they were
That's
just.
it, but they had a little bit further down the road. There was a small kind of, I say cave. It's more of a burrow dug into the ground, but it's wide. It was wide enough for Ian McKellen to get in and out of. So it's wide enough for all of you. So yeah, you and there's like a rather large cot, and then 4 little smaller cots. A large table with 1 big chair and then 4 little small footstools, and it's quite a cozy little setup.
Do we know how far away we are from Tezrab now, or
You Lavender had said it's about 3 days, and this is the second of those. So you don't know. You haven't seen any signs of the city. You're still kind of walking through the woods. You don't have any inkling, but at least tonight you're going to have a little bit more comfort than sleeping out in the open. And there is kind of a little door that you can shut to the burrow. They're not, they're not savages.
They have doors.
They're like modern comforts, like doors. Yeah. So yeah, you reckon tomorrow you'd probably make it onto the main road to Tezrab and then be at Tezrab.
When you say tiny cots, like they're way too small for any of us.
Yeah,
and
they're
big
so
goblins
there's like
are, yeah.
one of you would fit on the bed, the bugbear-sized bed. One of you, the cots you'd sit on comfortably. Yeah. But that's it.
We're gonna stay here. I can use all this firewood that I found.
we might as well, I guess.
Yeah, I make a nice fire with all that firewood.
Give me a survival check.
Oh boy. 8.
Yeah, you can't get it going. Not magically anyway. You were funneling around with the sticks trying to light it.
Can I just like shove my way in front of him and hit it with a fireball?
So you're trying to rub them together, get a bit of kindling going, and nothing.
Just kinda
And then
get it
Festa
going.
just kind of walks up the shoulders the other way and just magics it.
I mean, I could have done that too. I was trying to holistically, get in
Why?
touch with nature.
Why? What's the point?
You
Go
know.
sit down.
Yeah. Just lie on the fire. In front of the fire. In front of the fire.
So it's the 4 of you with a small little fire in the middle of this burrow.
Guys, I've been thinking. I think when we get to Tezrab, I'm going to go see what I can find out about Hidana in the Temple District. I don't know what you guys want to do. I know we've a couple of different leads that we can follow and stuff, but I think that's where I want to go.
Sounds like you got a plan.
Yeah, I'm going to try out around there and see what I can find out about her, if I can find out any more information about her. But
We should probably have a vague idea of what any of us are doing when we get there.
Well, we got to check out the plots and stay.
where would we find information about that?
You know,
I know a few bars and stuff. I can probably get some info. Ask around.
Okay. What about you guys?
we got that book that we found in Safsa's place,
I'm going to take that around the temple area.
We're hanging on to that, so we're not returning it.
Well, I think if we're finding out more about Hidana, they might be able
They
to use the
haven't
book.
missed it thus far.
No,
This
so
is true. There's no book bounty hunters out.
but what about Eugenia?
I could try find her. I'm pretty good at tracking people.
Well, we still have to talk to Sykes, so...
Yeah, should one of us go talk to Sykes?
Who do we think Sykes hates the least?
I mean, he knows you the most.
And he definitely hates me.
That's why I said hates the least.
He really hates you.
I think you do a good job, Hephaestus.
I have other things.
Oh, what's your plan?
There was a location written in that ledger, and I know it well enough. I think I need to see what's going on there. See if I can get us some kind of lead on that.
Will I give you the ledger, so?
Yeah, go on.
And I pass it over to Hephaestus.
Well, I mean, Nate, if you're hitting up the bars, you can meet Sykes.
Fine.
So what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I don't know. I think I could also kind of follow what Nate is doing. I've been through Tezrab a few times, but when it comes to finding people, I know a few places I could probably ask around.
I mean, someone should probably back him up, because he's probably just going to get wasted and do fuck all.
Is there someone you think you could find to help us?
No one specific, but there's places where, you know, if you trade in favors or give coin, people will generally kind of give you a bit of info. So
I'm from Tezrab. I know those kind of people. I'm just wondering, what are you specifically going to do?
we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, so just to establish it, so you've been sitting around talking about your plan once you get to Tezrab. Fia, you're taking the book from Asmodean the Wise to the Temple District to see if you can learn a little bit more about it, or Hedana. Hephaestus, you are scouting, well, a location that you're familiar with is named in the ledger, so you are going to go find out what that's about.
Yeah.
And also you were sent there for that, so that's weird. Nate, you are going to try and see what you can learn about the Flatstones kind of on the bar circuit.
Yeah, and also meet the Sykes as well.
Okay, you're going to go meet up with Sykes, and then you're...
Gonna check the dark alleys and the weird people.
We still have the book about the love potions. Even if we're not returning the books to the library, just go see what's happening, I guess, behind the scenes, because it seems a bit shady.
Okay, do you know what? Actually, I'll go to the library. I'll see what I can find out there.
Just sneak around, check it out.
Yeah.
New plan. Hephaestus, old plan. You're going to check out that location and try to get to the bottom of that plot hole. Nate, you are sticking to the old plan, which is bar hopping and trying to meet up with Sykes at some stage. Via new plan, you are not going to the Temple District. You are going to go to the library with the books to see if you can find out a little bit more information as to, well, who's stealing them and also what the hell's with the story with these books. Whether you return them or not, it's your own business.
Okay.
And then you're still going to go be that weirdo in the alleyway.
Well, since the temples are now open,
So you're going to be the weirdo on the temples.
I'll probably be the weirdo on the temples, yeah.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, I thought I actually overheard you throw a little dig my way. You alright?
Yeah, fine. You have a problem?
No, I'm not. You're the one that seems to have the fucking problem here. Like, I'm just, I'm trying to do stuff. I'm trying to make things right, trying to, help the gang out, and I just think you're being...
Since when is anything you do not about you?
Look, I don't know if you've got, like, some baggage that, you haven't dealt with yet. That's kind of your problem. Okay, I'm just trying to deal with the situation as it is now.
You'd know a lot about that, wouldn't you? About the baggage I carry?
I don't know, but you're a big girl, okay? You can figure this stuff out. Do you want me to hold your hand for everything, or...
Yeah, can you figure this shit out? Because you fucked up everything we've done thus far.
Look, I'm doing my best, okay?
Bullshit.
What more do you want? What do you want? What's the problem here?
You're the problem.
Well, look, I would go, but I obviously can't because I've got a fucking tramp stamp on me, okay? Same as you, so, unfortunately, I'm stuck with you, you're stuck with me, so just deal with it, okay?
I'm glad you're finally admitting you're only here because you're stuck with us. Not that you give a shit about any of this.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah? You give a shit about Eugenia too?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
4. It's a flat 4.
No.
I'm gonna go take first watch.
I have to write things over here in the corner.
Look, I'm sorry if I've not been nice to you. I'm sorry if I've been ignoring you. I just figured maybe you'd be used to people ignoring you.
The mark on your back burns red hot. Take 4 damage. It's like someone's poured boiling water on your skin.
At least I can get on by myself. You can't do anything on your own.
I've been doing well without you, so like you dragging me down.
Don't stress yourself out too much. You look like you're getting a zit. Should I run back to Grandma and get her a garter for you? So you can put your hair up out of the way.
You know what? I don't want to get personal here, okay? So maybe you should just watch it.
You made this personal a long time ago.
Look, I never made any promises, okay? So, that's on you. Like I said, I thought at the time that maybe you were, mature enough, grown up enough. I thought you were like someone who had, I don't know, a sense of their self. You know, I didn't expect you to take all this stuff to heart. We were just having fun, okay? And I thought we were just going to leave it there, but obviously now I have to deal with you again, so.
You think 2 years doesn't carry some kind of promise?
We didn't talk about anything, we didn't say anything. I've got a career, I've got a life. Not much anymore, but...
You never had much of anything to say anyway. I don't see why I'm surprised now. I'm just going to go sit out with Pia.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything.
Leaving it on that, like Hephaestus just walks away. With that sort of aired or even inflamed, I don't know what way you want to put it, but that tension, even though you've left, it's sort of set into this space. It's there, and it's a sort of stone unturned, but no one's really talking about it. It's more just trying to one up each other and trying to stick the knife in a little bit more. A few moments later, Hephaestus, you can see, for the record, you've walked away, you can still hear it. Like they're not exactly, like talking or whispering. Thane kind of has his back to it in the corner, kind of writing, and also just trying to blot it out. But a few moments later, kind of Hephaestus comes out. She stands beside you. You're sitting on the edge of the path and the burrow, and she comes out. And she just kind of stamps her feet into the ground and just lets out kind of a shrill scream into the air.
I stand up and I get my arm and I link it in hers and I just stand there with her, not even looking at her, but just beside her.
I leave her a second, but I shrug her off and step to the other side.
Letting I won't say dust because that would imply it was kind of like a little like everything. letting the building collapse in on itself. Some time kind of passes, and it starts to get chilly outside. The path is quite like you don't see or hear anything. Hephaestus obviously doesn't want to talk. She's not saying anything. She's just staring out into the dark. You head inside, and again you can see Thane in the corner on one of the footstools, leaning onto the table, just kind of writing. And Nate is just kind of sitting there. He's holding the lute, but he's kind of twinging one of the strings, but he's not actually playing it. It's more just to have something to do.
I come back in. I sit down beside the fire, cross-legged, and I kind of give Nate like one of those awkward half smiles and look away.
You guys okay?
Are you guys okay?
I'm good. I just sure that's pretty awkward for you. I don't know if you're aware, but me and herself have a bit of history, so I'm sorry that got dragged up there. So,
but you guys like each other enough, right?
Well, as it stands, we tolerate each other, but
I think you could push it to like. We all nearly died together. You don't do that with people you don't like.
Yeah, well, yeah, don't really have much control over that situation. It is.
I mean, that's true, but
Hephaestus, you can hear Nate, but you can't hear Thane. Well, you can hear Thane's voice, but it's a little bit more garbled.
Yeah.
So, look, I just wanted to apologise for that. I was hoping to kind of keep things professional. Sorry, guys.
I'm looking down at the ground. I'm not responding at all.
Nate, it's okay. You don't have to apologise to us. Or you don't have to apologise to me. Like, I'm not offended by any of this, but don't hurt your friends, I guess, would be the main thing. I know you probably don't think of her as a friend, but I mean, come on, we didn't deal with weird dreams in a strange temple and a weird old priest and all this stuff to at least not call each other some kind of friend.
Look, then I appreciate, all of that, but as I said, there's history there. I think what you maybe need to understand about Hephaestus is that she kind of comes from a background where, how do I put this? She is a bit of a disappointment, and she feels the need to really prove herself. That's why she, starts these fights, does all these things. Look, it's, I'm trying to do my part, but I can only do so much. So,
birds of a feather flock together, man. I think we're all some kind of disappointment in someone's eyes.
I'm kind of horrified by what Nate has said, and I kind of stand up and say, that's really rude, what you just said.
What? Sorry.
About Hephaestus. It's really rude. And it goes to show maybe what's bubbling up inside of you, not her.
Look, this is not something I'm saying. This was, again, I don't know if it still stands, but that's something she admitted to me, And like, I'm not trying to cast any sort of aspersions.
But you are. And I walk out.
Okay, so just before kind of you get up to leave as well, you've overheard what he has said.
You just hear another shout and a bit of a flash as I throw an Eldritch Blast just like into the ether. Like,
Okay, you
just angrily firing off.
yeah. Like Godzilla.
Just lighten up
I
the
just
sky.
want to destroy something. Like I just
Okay.
want to break a tree. I just want
give me
to
an Eldritch
smash
Blast.
something. Natural 20.
Yeah, so
Obliterate a fucking tree.
yeah, you turn and there's just an urge to fire it into the burrow and just burn the whole fucking thing to the ground. And you, at the last second, just as you feel the magic just sort of electrifying at the edges of your fingers, you just aim it upwards, and there is a tree kind of, this is what they've burrowed down in under, and you just aim it right up, and overhead all of you, the ground shakes and dirt falls, and there's just an explosive sound of fire and timber cracking, followed by a scream, and then sort of a muffled cry, just someone trying to hold back or not be heard crying.
I'm just going to look at Thane and just go, and I sort of gesture outside to like all the noise and destruction that Hephaestus making, and leave it there. I'll get up and just, start playing away my lute.
Thane has no idea what to do.
Thane goes back to his writing. Hefia, you've kind of got up and walked away from the fire and kind of thrown yourself into a corner. Having heard Hephaestus outside, it's literally caught between a rock and a fire ganassi. There's no kind of way. There's no way you're going out there either. You just throw yourself into a corner and wait to fall asleep. You go to your separate spaces. You don't even go back inside. You sleep outside.
Yeah.
And night falls, and sleep comes to all of you. Any kind of form of planning or kind of conversation is just kind of gone out the window because nobody really knows what to say to each other after all that just went down. But the following morning, you awaken to hear the sound, and there's kind of a dripping coming into the burrow of rain, heavy rain. You kind of taken shelter in a little bit of that tree that you kind of obliterated, but you're soaked. You're shaking with the cold and everything else. It's not just the cold and the wet. It's what he said. It's who he said it to, and it's how he said it. The three of you kind of head out. You kind of just see Hephaestus kind of a little way down the path, and where you're standing, Hephaestus, you can see that fork or that split that Lavender had mentioned, where the path does split. You can continue traveling kind of more northerly, or you can now head directly east. You guys are just going to plow on?
As soon as I see them coming out of the burrow, I just start walking down the path.
Okay.
I'll kind of try and move up to catch up with Hephaestus.
So you're all kind of following after her. Thane kind of jogs up beside you.
Don't say a word.
I just give her a nudge and I'll be like,
Don't touch me.
okay.
It's only a short walk from this path, and you find yourselves kind of out in a very, very overgrown field. Like you cleared the fucking Irish accent. You cleared the thicket of trees, and you find yourself standing in a very overgrown field. It's like it's very, very tall grass. I think, Nate, you're the tallest. Mm-hmm. You can just about see over it, and at the other side of this field there is a kind of a crumbling wall and a very large open road. And even here in the grey heavy rain and the clouds overhead that erupted finally since yesterday, you can just see a traffic flow either direction of people on foot, carriages, people on horseback heading north and south on this road. And as you kind of follow your head in direction, the road's familiar to you. You recognize it as it's one of the main roads to Tezrab. It's the road that you were on originally before you stepped off the Forgotten Path.
Guys, I think we're about to start hitting civilization here, so
I guess we should probably cloak up.
So the four of you immediately pull your hoods up. As you look at each other, you don't see anything different. Ooh. And you head towards the city. No one notices you as you kind of join that foot traffic and horse traffic and carriage traffic. And it is. It's a quagmire of different faces and just, you've got farmers, you've got merchants, you've got commoners, and even there's a few kind of fairly well-to-do carriages as well. Some soldiers. You are just another face in that crowd. As you stand at the gate, Fia, Thane, Hephaestus, and Nate, you brace yourselves and you pull the hood of the cloak back, and you reveal the form that you have disguised yourself as. So, Fia, what do you look like now?
So, still a shader Kai. My skin is a darker shade of a lavender grey. Same with my hair. It's a lot darker than Fia's and a lot longer, tied back off of my face. And the way Fia is cute, this face is really beautiful and angular, but still has the same eyes. Fia has kind of thought of herself to look like what she remembers of her mother.
Nate?
So as I put my hands on the hood of the cloak, I think really hard to make the magic work. I just go, grease a little peanut, grease a little peanut, grease a little peanut, and I pull the hood down, and I have taken the form of Sops.
Okay. Gross. Hephaestus.
So I'm still a Fire Ganassi, but I look like a proper Fire Ganassi. Reddish skin, long, curly red and yellow hair, and just a bit more pleasant to look at. The piercings are gone, the tattoos are gone. Like, she just, it's my sister, Sekhmet, happens to be the one who embarrassed me all those years ago.
Okay, so we're going to get some revenge in Tezrab.
Yeah.
Dane.
Thane, I pull down the hood of the cloak, and instead of his bearded reddish brown head, there's a black hair, sepia skin. There's a person that he has now become who he has not stopped thinking about for the past 3 nights, with hazel eyes. And he walks in as Grace.
And as these 4 strangers enter the city of Tezrab, we'll leave it there. This was Romancing the Dungeon. You've been listening to Diarmid as Thane Greyline, Amber as Hephaestus Tenderson, Louise as Fia Isidrim, and Sam as Nathaniel Obsidian McKnight. Special thanks to Martin Rind for our theme tune, Love Chords. I'm Declan, and I've been your Dungeon Master. If you like what you heard and want to know more about the show and the world of Romancing the Dungeon, check us out on social media at D8 Dungeon, where you can get involved in what we're kind of maybe doing here. And speaking of which, thanks to the First Watch show at First Watch for naming our kobold Smut Peddler, accidental Smut Peddler, and Impressed for his creative naming of the Just the Tip Whip. We're back in 2 weeks' time. We'll see you then. Did you say you took a shit?
No.
Oh, I didn't want to say about the smell.
Yeah. No. I was just mumbling away. It's like messing with the eraser.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're mumbling away on a podcast. Wow.
Louise is having her own little private
Genius.
podcast.
Bravo.
She was getting bored, okay?
I wasn't getting bored. This isn't about her anymore, so she doesn't give a shit.
Shut Thane, calm down.
Shut up about this Thane guy. It needs to be about me.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm first. No, I know.
Guess what's going into the outtake?
It's early.
So when we listen back to it, if I hear anything, you're fucking dead.
This is the downside of living with the DM.